Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Throwdown. This is round 2 in bracket 2 of the Who's the GOAT tournament. Watch the introductory videos. Watch the last videos. Y'all know what it is. I won the last round. I get the coin toss to represent. Let's get it started, baby. Let's get it popping up in here.
All right.
Actually, you shouldn't have the coin toss. This is semifinals, right?
Yeah, but I won the last round.
Yeah, but is it me and him? Do we have a guy against each other apiece?
No.
No.
Oh, no. I have 3 picks in this.
Yeah.
So I get to pick. All right, well, I'm sticking with Edge.
You want Edge?
I want Edge. I want Edge, baby.
It gives me Jeff Hardy, correct?
Yes,
All
that
right.
gives you Jess Harvey.
I'm just gonna say, Caleb, you're kind of in the lead here, so you're gonna.
I am in the lead.
You get
I'm
the first. You get to go first here.
All right. That's fine with me.
Yeah, fine
I'll
with me.
start us off.
All right. Why is Edge the GOAT?
Edge returned from a career-ending injury, a hiatus of nearly a decade away from the professional wrestling business. Never thought he would wrestle again. Gets the itch to come back, and not only does he have an offer from another company, but is so brand loyal, calls Vince McMahon personally and tells him he's got an offer, matches it, and immediately signs on the dotted line to the arguably biggest pop in the Royal Rumble ever. When the pandemic comes along, goes to separate secular lengths to make sure his feud with Randy Orton continues, and people are still expecting him to come out on top and be a part of this year's WrestleMania, almost a year out from his previous debut. Got another injury, went directly into rehab and started training again. You can't stop Edge. You cannot keep him down. So many times he's been told he wouldn't do this again, and he decided for himself that he would be back in the ring, and you don't get better than that. You don't get better than the guy that says, I can still go, so I'm going to.
Okay.
Not bad, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, Luke. That's why Jeff Hardy is the GOAT.
All right. You mentioned earlier Edge come in as a tag team wrestler and was pushed as one of the most innovative tag teams of all time. Jeff Hardy, on the other hand, was an enhancement guy. He come in, he took the lumps like everybody else. He wasn't given a spot when he got into the company. He earned it. Jeff Hardy went from being taken from Raw, wrestling people like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Razor Ramon, numerous guys in the 90s, taking an ass whooping and coming back every week. He also was 2 years under the age of the legal limit to be a professional wrestler and was still coming back every week and being beaten by grown men. Also, Jeff Hardy, you look at the tag team specialist, he held tag titles, he's held a singles title everywhere he's been. Everywhere he's been at least a heavyweight champion, whether it be tag or a singles title. Jeff Hardy, addiction problems have...
Time.
Damn it.
All things considered, and those are both great arguments, I'm going to go with Jeff.
Okay.
I am overall.
That's fair.
You said Edge. He's come back from injuries and all that. Jeff's never stepped away.
That's a really fair point.
That is a fair point.
That's a really fair point.
Jeff's never stepped away, and he's. I know for a fact that he's fantastic to his fans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's more
for
than
sure.
true. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm going with Jeff
who
on that
are
one.
the next 2 names in the tournament? It's Randy
All right.
Orton and Snuka, right?
Next up,
Yep.
it would be Randy Orton and Jimmy Snuka.
And you get to keep Orton.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's
Luke,
mine.
you have Orton. We're gonna flip for this one.
Yep, because you won.
Sure.
Oh, he won.
Oh,
What do you call
heads.
it?
Heads.
Heads. It's heads.
Yeah, of course it is.
Clear it up.
All right.
All right.
RKO, let's do it.
Go.
And Randy Orton has been a mentor during the Legacy era to Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, of course, being one of the biggest names in professional wrestling now because he learned under the tree. Randy Orton was handpicked by Ric Flair and Triple H to be part of Evolution. They don't give those spots out lightly. Randy Orton has been a numerous time Intercontinental Champion and built his way to the Heavyweight Championship. He's won the Royal Rumble on 2 separate occasions. He's main evented WrestleMania with the likes of The Undertaker. He's wrestled Triple H. He's wrestled Mick Foley, John Cena. He has been the only constant in professional wrestling since the day he joined the WWE. Randy Orton, of course, like I said, he's been in some trouble in the back in his time, but he has matured and grown He is now the guy that you can count on in WWE at any time. Programs on the microphone, promotion, what have you. He's your go-to guy. Randy Orton is the greatest of all time.
I have a shirt that says that. All right, Caleb. You have Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Go. To continue on the argument that I made about high flyers of professional wrestling not existing without Superfly Jimmy Snuka, you also have to take into consideration that he wrestled that way as a heavyweight. Meaning at the time when wrestlers who weighed the exact same way he did and looked the exact same way he did were not physically capable of doing the feats that he was. He was also one of the most charismatic wrestlers of his time, most enigmatic wrestlers of his time, and was also a WWE loyalist. Ended his career there in the limelight and golden years of his life with an in-ring return. Still able to do a splash that not full-time wrestlers today are capable of executing correctly. Still, one of the lowest injury rates, one of the lowest rates of injuring other wrestlers, and when people think of their Mount Rushmores, Superfly Jimmy Snuka is always on the list for consideration. There's nothing else to be said about the head of the Samoan table, other than the fact that Superfly Jimmy Snuka in this scenario is, in fact, the GOAT.
Time. I know it's hard. It really is.
That's a hard one.
I was a Snuka fan when I was a kid. Yeah. It's hard.
I was too. I was a huge
Snuka fan. Me too. But can't say I wasn't an Orton fan when I was a kid either. Also, because I was in the age bracket when he was a wrestler.
And you guys don't really have a lot of time to argue either one of those. I gotta, all things considered, I got to go with Randy Orton just because I think he's still got so much more to add.
That's fair.
Truth.
Hey, so we're going with Randy.
You know what? I really like.
I was going to use that on you.
That's the reason I'm not disappointed that he didn't win. Because he was a fucking murdered person. Like,
all right, well that's the second.
Yeah, I think we got time to knock out the rest of it in this video if we want to instead of going to video 3.
Got one more, just the final.
Sure, go for it.
All right, the final is Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton.
Jeff Hardy versus Randy
Orton. Mine.
Well, no, because I didn't. You
won with Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy goes back to Caleb.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
I had Randy.
All right. Well, you won, so you could start. Or you could call the coin toss, rather.
Yeah, I'll call the coin. Tails.
Oh, really? That's dramatic.
That's dramatic. 20 minutes.
Tails. Start it up.
I tell you what, I got tails. I defer.
Oh, I get to go first. All right.
Okay.
Jeff Hardy has held every single major championship everywhere he's been. In both companies, has been in main event programs everywhere he's been. The soundbite with Jeff Hardy versus The Undertaker in the ladder match for the WWE Championship when JR says, "Climb the ladder, kid! Make yourself famous!" is one of the greatest moments of not only JR's commentary career, but Jeff Hardy's career. Jeff Hardy, in his age, his current condition, and he's up there in years, is still a full-time competitor and still has so much farther to go. Tomorrow, you could put him in a main event program and people are going to watch to see what happens, to see what crazy shit he's going to do, to see how he's going to reinvent himself, as he is also want to do. Jeff Hardy is also one of the biggest household names. Everyone knows one of the Hardy Boys if you talk to a wrestling fan. Everyone knows people who aspire to be the Hardy Boys, and without Jeff Hardy, high flyers today, guys like the Young Bucks, guys like Kenny Omega, would...
Time.
All right,
Randy Orton.
It's your turn, Randy Orton.
All right, Randy Orton.
Keep it up.
One of the only people in professional wrestling right now to have held all 3 major championships and still be on the active roster. He's been Intercontinental Champion, he's been Heavyweight Champion, both Heavyweight Champions, and both sets of Tag Team Champions. His work rate is insane. Insane work rate. The man never gets blown up.
It's true.
Never gets blown up. He's never had a bad match. In my recollection, he's never had a bad match. Ever. With anyone he's ever worked. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't believe so. Randy Orton is still, like I said, still on the active roster and still young enough to still be around 10 years from now and still be the heavyweight champion 10 years from now. He's wrestled the likes of, Triple H down to Jeff Hardy, his opponent here in the bracket.
Time.
Now we
get my rebuttal as to why Randy Orton is not the GOAT.
Yep.
And I'll start that in 4, 3, 2,
Do it.
1. Randy Orton in this scenario is not the GOAT, and let me tell you why. Randy Orton, while technically proficient, is not capable of half of the physical things that Jeff Hardy is capable of. Randy Orton doesn't do anything extraordinary in the ring, while he does everything intelligently and does it beautifully, and execution-wise is perfect. No one remembers a spot with Randy Orton put his life on the line to make something incredible happen in the ring. No one remembers moments where Randy Orton climbed to a top rope and sailed through the air, crashing through a ladder to make the fans feel something. People remember the RKO when he hits it the right way the first time or the second time on somebody, but Randy Orton doesn't have that big WrestleMania moment where he climbs the top of the ladder and comes soaring through the air, through a Dudley boy, through a table, or through his brother through a table. The emotional storyline that Jeff Hardy was capable of producing, and for those reasons alone in this scenario, Randy Orton is not the time.
I love how you're trying to make me feel all emotional.
My minute.
I wish I could rebuttal that.
And I will start.
Go.
Speaking of WrestleMania moments, as he was talking about, yes, that's true. Randy Orton has not flew through a ladder through his brother, but Randy Orton challenged the streak.
No, it's why Jeff Hardy isn't the GOAT, not why it's not a rebuttal for Randy Orton. Okay, gotcha.
Randy Orton didn't have to come off the ladder because Randy Orton wrestled the Taker. Jeff Hardy has not had half the career that Randy Orton has had. Now, I'm not saying that Jeff Hardy is not a good worker, but when was the last time Jeff Hardy main evented anything? I can tell you the last time Jeff Hardy main evented something. When he come to the ring all drugged up in TNA, and they had to force a finish at a pay-per-view in less than 7 seconds. See, he's not allowed to do that, right? That's not allowed, right?
Watch your turn, Kevin.
Also, I mean, let's. I should get a few more seconds.
I gave you 5 extra seconds already. That's a feel, motherfucker.
And he was all fucking woozy in the ring, and Randy Orton didn't kick him in the head.
Be the only person.
Well, he did that ear thing. Was fucking.
Oh god, the ear
Oh,
thing.
once again, all things considered, I got to say.
Think about your childhood, Max. Think about your childhood.
I love Jeff Hardy. I love.
You modeled your entire career after Jeff Hardy, Max.
But again,
you traitorous son of a bitch.
Jeff was champion everywhere he's been because he went other places Randy Orton never had to. Randy Orton was the youngest champion ever
for a month.
He's I gotta go with Randy Orton.
Randy Orton shit in Trish Stratus' bag.
Yeah, he did.
Randy Orton wins number 2.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
So far, we have Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton. That tournament is really shaping up.
And we've eliminated names like Edge, Goldberg, Stone Cold, The Rock, Mick Foley.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Samoa Joe, AJ Styles.
Finn Balor. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Stone Cold.
The
Rock.
Yeah, The Rock.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
This tournament's awesome. Make sure to follow along because we are so looking forward to doing more of these videos for you guys next week. Make sure to find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTV. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about this new tournament. Let us know what you think about the outcomes, who you think should have won in certain places. Let's have a dialogue. Like, subscribe, stay tuned. We still have more videos coming. I can't wait.